Hey there, YouTube. How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jay Being Natural, and today we're going to be taking a look at a game that I've wanted to show off for a while, but finally got around to playing it. Today we're looking at NASCAR Heat Evolution for the PlayStation 4. So yeah, this was supposed to be the big NASCAR Heat return when Technics lost their NASCAR license in 2015. But now it's back to the guys who did NASCAR Heat originally and did Daytona back in the early 2000s from a monster games. But like I said, this is their big return. You can do, as you can see, this is just like a typical mode. You can do race mode, you can do a season mode, and there's a challenge mode, which unfortunately though, it's supposed to be as I played through the game. But as you can see, I got a lot of skill points. Unless I'm also missing something here. You can see, but I can't connect online anymore. There's no. The game is the license has shifted a few times, but so that's why we are going to focus solely on the game's career mode, which is honestly bare bones, but that's apparently all we had. I'm in the middle of my second season. I wanted to save until we got to this point in the game's career mode because there's actually something pretty unique, and it's only in NASCAR Heat Evolution. But yeah, this is pretty much a simple investment. You don't have to pay for anything except for upgrades, because what the money is used for. And until you get to that astrodynamicist, you're just constantly saving up money. So this is actually my third primary sponsor. You start off with a small-time sponsor for $5,000 a race. Then you get $12.50 a race for the second-tier sponsor, and a third-tier sponsor, which is where I'm at. We're going to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona first. But like I said, it's a nice little thing that happens when you reach the second half of the season in the career mode. We're going to skip the qualifying session because I like starting in the back. But why don't I let a somewhat familiar voice let me show you what this new thing is. And it's only brief. It's only at just the start of every second season race. From the Coke Zero 400 all the way to the season-ending race at Homestead, Miami. Want to take a look?
This is Rick Allen for NBC Sports. Tonight we're live from Daytona International Speedway for the Coke Zero 400 powered by Coca-Cola. It's a warm, muggy 4th of July weekend, but the skies are clear and we're ready to kick off the second half of the season. Tonight we go 160 laps under the lights. NASCAR on NBC is next. We'll take it from here.
There we go. Alright, now we can get on with it. Back to good old NASCAR racing.
There's a green flag.
Back to old Monster Energy racing, which, if you listen closely, nothing's really changed though, unfortunately, since Dirt to Daytona, which is a shame because this was almost 15 years later. This game came out, I believe, in like 2016.
Stay on.
Yeah, I believe 2016. Hence, it's supposed to have been quite a bit advanced, but we jumped 2 console generations into this. But instead, it's just as bare bones as you get. It's definitely worse because the career mode, you instantly start off, you practically, no, I didn't say practically, you do. You instantly start off in the, Sprint Cup series. You don't do any minor league building up your reputation in that way. You just start right up in the Sprint Cup. And unfortunately, these on-screen displays on the top left, that's also in a lesser sense than... Actually, let me turn this down because, as you can see, the pause menu is also pretty much the same since NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. It's only like these 3 things. In fact, you can even, like you see here, you can even restart a career mode race if you aren't happy with your performance. But like, see, this is all you get. That's it. That's all you get in terms of heads-up display, at least in the career mode. You only get damage, fuel, and tires. That's it. No what lap you, like the distance to the leader. There's no like relative leaderboard. Shows you how close your competition is. But no, that's it. This is all you get. Just two
Still
simple
there.
presses of the button. And as for onboard cams, you get the typical NASCAR Dirt to Daytona cameras, except worse again,
there.
because there's no straight up bumper cam. There's the standard chase
Last
cam, cockpit view,
Still there.
and the hood roof cam. That's all you get with NASCAR Heat Evolution. Because it's an irony. The game is called Evolution, but it has taken several steps backwards.
Carlo.
And there's one infamous little glitch area that I'm about to show you right now. Take a look at this. All you have to do is just keep constantly
Still there.
pausing your game. And look at that. Look at the cars. Look at how slow they are now. You are going to catch up to them absolutely no problem if you keep pausing and unpausing the game like so. This is the only reason I'm going to show it off. See what I mean? Look at that.
Still there.
Look at these. Do you see that? Right there. They're getting
Still
slow.
there.
An unfortunate glitch.
That's worth a few points.
I guess it's in the mid-pack. I'm only doing that here. And look at that. I'm in the middle of my second season now, and I'm only at 34,000 fans. The fan is kind of slow here. And I feel like those skill points would have been used in, say, an online store or something, but since, again, no rights exist since, again, the rights to NASCAR swapped multiple times by now. So for this video, we're going to do a few career mode races because, as you've noticed, we only ran 3 laps. That is on purpose. Because in terms of career mode setting, this is the lowest you could ever go. Here we go, let's go. Career race settings, look. This is the lowest I can set it, 2%. You can actually go 2% races in this game. Actually, I kind of think about it. It might be the first time. I don't remember if it was like this in the other NASCAR Heat games, like the other PS4, Xbox One Heat games. Cautions, of course there's no stage racing because that wasn't introduced, I don't believe, until they became the Monster Energy Cup series in the next game. So that's fair. In fact, we've ended up to get a new upgrade, which gives us an extra, apparently, 3.6% of horsepower. There we go. So that means we'll be able to go a little bit faster, too, again. Next stop, we're going to Lexington, Kentucky, home of the Quaker State 400, presented by Advanced Auto Parts. Let's get right into the next NASCAR on NBC quote-unquote intro.
NASCAR on NBC is coming to you live from the Bluegrass State. Tucked between Lexington and Louisville, fans here know hoops and horsepower. This is Rick Allen, and we're just moments away from the start of the Quaker State 400, presented by Advanced Auto Parts.
So, the base game itself, you're not going to take up a lot of space. I got this game because I got it at a physical disc at kind of a nearby thrift shop. What am I trying to say? So this game does not exist digitally. Physical version is the only way you can get this game now for the PS4 and Xbox One. Well, I guess maybe if you tried those secondhand digital code sites, maybe. Go down the inside.
Still there.
Nice, there we go. Oh, oh. Yeah, you only get these sort of games if you want to complete a collection or you're curious to see what gaming was like 10 years ago.
Hold your line.
And it's interesting, but like if I don't know if it's because I have assists on or anything, but if you don't have assists on, this game can be peer torture, as you can ping pong off your opponents. In fact, why don't I see if I can show it off here? No, I can't really show it off here. Well, like I said, it was probably because I might have assists on. In fact, I probably do. But yeah, there's no way to accelerate the fuel and tire wear like you would in Dirt to Daytona.
You're all clear.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Car low. Here you go.
There we go.
Clear low.
There we go on the outside of Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Still there.
See if we can try to get ourselves a few more spots. But since I guess it is in hard mode, I am trying. You are on a slow grind in terms of money.
Car low.
I think the amount of money you earn is directly proportionate to the level of upgrades you have
Last
on
lap.
your shop. Because if you somehow win the Daytona 500 in your first go on normal difficulty,
Car low.
maybe it's also dependent on like
All clear.
what difficulty you're on. That could be it. Because if you win the Daytona 500 at normal difficulty, you're only getting 11 grand. The only reason I'm having all of these high payouts now is because I think it's on hard difficulty, or we're later on in the career mode. There we go. So we only finished 25th at Kentucky. Get us 157 grand, plus the Love sponsorship got me 25 grand. But yeah, once you level up high or get more consistent results, or level up your shop, you'll get more opportunities for side sponsorships. Like I mentioned, I gotta save up a lot of money now. I gotta save up another $2 million to get my next upgrade. So hopefully at some point I'll get a higher paying sponsor. Well, not a higher, well, I guess, yeah, a higher paying sponsor. Alright. Back to Rick Allen. Let's do another intro.
Today, NASCAR makes its first stop in New Hampshire for the New
Hope I'm not
Hampshire
gonna get a copyright
301.
claim for the NASCAR and
2010
NBC
to
intro.
15, Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman, Casey Kane, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle
Oh, and by
Busch
the way, these are the
used
same
wins
intros
in
every
this
time.
race to help propel themselves into the
It does get
NASCAR
repetitive,
chase for the
so
Sprint
as
Cup.
novel as the concept is, the intros repeat themselves. And when you're in the first half of the season, they replace NASCAR and NBC with a generic-looking presentation. So as not to infringe on NASCAR and Fox.
Still there.
Heavy damage, that's gonna get the radiator.
Still there.
And remember,
All clear.
if
Car high.
the distance is less than 7%, you have to. There are no flags, and there is no real. I guess. No, it'll be just flags, I think.
5 laps to go. Car high. Clear high.
There we go. So yeah, if unfortunately, like I said, this game is just really like a less feature-filled version of Dirt to Daytona. If you just want a standard NASCAR Thunder career mode that just takes you straight to the Cup Series, then I guess maybe go with this game.
Still there.
But like I said, it's pretty much really it's kind of more like NASCAR Heat 2002. But that's about all you can really say about it. Is it the worst game ever? Again, since I'm probably using assist, I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I'm still gonna say, which thankfully I have not found a copy of yet, or at least a cheap copy of yet. NASCAR 21, it's a split between NASCAR 21 and NASCAR 08 as the worst NASCAR games around. But this isn't anything spectacular either, like Thunder or Dirt to Daytona, their own game.
Car high. Clear high.
But If I'm looking,
All clear.
NASCAR 25 still tops the PS4, PS5 era NASCAR games.
Car high. Here you go.
But, dang, I always lose my thought when it comes to these, because I still gotta focus on these.
Still there. All clear.
Uh-oh. Ow. I have to let Mia's go.
All clear.
But I guess you could, the only reason, again, you'd pick up this game is if you're curious about this era of NASCAR racing.
Last lap.
There we go. Unfortunately, my radiator front end damage is really causing a lot of issues. Well, at least it's not too hot. And the leader took over. So I probably would have gotten more wins, say, if I was able to dumb it down to normal difficulty.
We'll get him next time.
But I still want kind of a challenge. I still have no idea what the speed points do. Another $200,000, because it seems like it's gonna. The only way we can make it into the playoffs at this rate is if I win one of the races heading into the chase. So we'll just do Indiana, and then we'll call it for a video. Yeah, there's still the. You saw there with Brad Keselowski, there's still the age-appropriate sponsorship. But one more time, take it away, Rick Allen.
Welcome to NASCAR on NBC. I'm Rick Allen, and today we're coming to you from Indianapolis Motor Speedway for today's running of the Brickyard 400. It's always special to return to this historic racing venue. Indiana's home to many NASCAR drivers, all of whom grew up with big dreams of kissing the bricks here at Indy.
But I guess it says it didn't really pay attention to the name change. As you can tell, Crown Royal is a alcoholic sponsor. Oops. Although it's probably just gonna be my fault. I don't remember when NASCAR started implementing, hey, if you're over 21, you can go ahead and see the alcohol sponsors. It's no big deal. The only one would have been for, though, would have been for Brad Keselowski, driving the Miller Lite Ford.
Still there. All clear.
There we go, just so we can, since it's technically a super speedway, there's only 3 laps.
Still there.
Same would be for Pocono as well. Okay, so I consider this game pretty average. I mean, you kind of would have expected more from the developers of Monster Games, especially the pedigree they have with especially NASCAR Heat for the PS2 and Xbox, and then do it to Daytona. Just like really set them in a next level of NASCAR game, because nobody did that multi-tiered career system until Monster Games did Dirt to Daytona.
Stay low. Still there. All clear.
Yeah, coming out of turns 3 and 4. There we go, out the final corner. Yeah, see, it would have been nice to know like how far I am from everybody else, but Monster Games sure didn't put that in the game. And there you go, across the finish line. We're gonna finish 22nd. Oh no! Oh, we were on lap 2? Dang, okay, maybe we will. Maybe we can still get into the mid-pack, or upper mid-pack. There you go, gotta get past Ryan Blaney and Jamie McMurray to get some extra sponsorship money and extra prize money.
All clear.
So now we gotta get past Truex Jr. There we go.
Car high.
Just Kyle Busch right ahead of us, but I don't think we'll be able to
Get all
pass
clear.
him. We can at least turn on the rearview mirror easily. Alright, 18th place, not bad. Not bad at all.
Stand towards the viewpoint.
Yeah, a few points. Back in this area, you can only get 1 point for each position you finished. So we just finished under 40,000 fans here. Dang, you know, I keep forgetting to mention that. This game is pretty small. However, you have to download a patch that's almost, you know, just as big as the game. As we walk away with $250,000. Yeah, you have to, you do have to get a update patch to get it, to make sure the game runs smooth, of course. And it's just as big as the game. But to be fair, the base game itself is like 7.5 gigs. This is a, like I said, this is a pretty bare bones game. Yeah, at least we're starting to get higher positions, at least. Yeah, that is something. Do I get any more sponsors? Not yet. Probably, like I said, need to get that upgrade. Alright, well, with that said, folks, that'll do it for my look at NASCAR Heat Evolution for the PlayStation 4. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's a bare bones game. You're not gonna get much. You can find a physical copy. I was looking to get mine for $10, although it probably should have gone for much less, but whatever. But that's it for my look at NASCAR Heat Evolution. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody, and goodbye.